Hello, hello. Good morning. I think I'm gonna start in a few minutes. Just gonna let people trickle in, and then we'll get started. Let me lower the volume here. It's a little too loud for my taste. There we go. I'm not gonna be doing the cubes today. I already did that on my sketchbook. I did like I don't know, like 40-minute practice with cubes and stuff and like perspective. So what we'll do is I think I have enough time for 2 1-hour practices. Yeah, it is Chrono Trigger. So I'm gonna do some morning practice. If I have time for 2, I'll do 2. If I don't, then I don't. Good morning, Victoria. I'm gonna look up just one reference I need to look up for something that I want to do today. Good. Here. Stretch my hands a little bit because I had a short break before I jumped into stream. This SNES playlist. I usually like that that kind of music when I work sometimes. Haven't played it in a while, so why not? Instead of like, just doing Animal Crossing over and over. That should work. Definitely. I was looking at some Mark Brunet brushes, but I'll hold off from using those. Next week, I'm probably going to switch this up and not be so stringent because I think I'm getting used to doing these and this is fine. I'll probably stop doing them every day and just doing them like every other day or something like that. Just so that I'm not like, oh, well, because I already have the idea of like not using Control-C. It's kind of like getting out of my system. But we'll see. I do like doing these, and I think being persistent with them is important. But I do need to switch up the way that I study and practice because I feel like I've been doing the cubes and stuff, and I kind of want to do longer studies and just like, do one long thing every day. I hate this controller. It always resets. I don't know why. Turn it on and off. Sometimes it won't pick up for whatever reason. I don't know why. Use our mini brush. All right, you go ahead and grab my timer, and that way I get started. One hour. All right. There is something specific that I want to try with today. I don't know if I will be successful or not, but we're gonna try, and that's the whole thing, right? So, all right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. All right, 1 hour. Hey, Amber. We just started. Well, I warmed up before the stream. I used my sketchbook, and now we're just doing the 1 hour thing. Hey, Norian. How's it going? How's it hanging? Big and large popsicles? Maybe. Hey. Thanks for the follow. Alright, so let's this one, we'll fix the face later. Oh! Yeah, no, thanks for following. Appreciate it. I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway being able to delete, but no Control-C. The idea is that I commit to a mistake, so sometimes, like, during this process, I will have, like, accidentally made a brush stroke that I shouldn't have, and I just leave it, and then I'll correct it by painting over it, or, you know, happy little accident. You know, take a little bit of inspiration from Bob Ross and just commit to it. Don't overthink it. Because otherwise, you'll end up not finding out why you made the mistake. That's the whole process here. It's like, okay, well, what's working, what's not working. Being able to take a step back and look at your handiwork. Hey, thanks for the follow. Like, I know I need to work anatomy, but that's not very helpful for me if I'm not realizing that I could probably figure out what things about anatomy is not working. And I already know, but, you know, being able to just put things in perspective in my brain and just be like, okay, you know, this is that. And then I can look at things and be like, okay, well, in my brain, this would sort of work, right? And then you start kind of figure things out. Obviously, I'm noticing mistakes right off the bat, but that's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need to correct this. It needs to come out perfect. It's just getting used to tricking the brain into seeing how many things I can get away with. Okay. Do that in perspective. This doesn't work. Yeah, look, what I recommend with box practices is that you can do those, but be sure that when you draw, you're like thinking, okay, well, instead of just doing boxes for God knows when, you can start picturing things in your brain in perspective like that. Like, for example, this, you know. And one helpful thing that I learned, especially watching King Jung-yi, is being able to draw lines in relation to each other. So, for example, I did this like arc here, and then, okay, well, this should be here. This is obviously like that, and so they would go here. This is armed with knowledge, of course, but, you know, trying to put things in perspective is all about the lines and the relationship with each other and like objects in a space. This might not look perfect for sure. I mean, it's obviously perspective mistakes, but I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to get my brain to use what I've been learning and construct it without like any aid. I'm not looking at I looked at a reference really quick for the piano that I'm drawing here, but like I don't have it open. It's not there. It's like in my mind, okay, it's just a bunch of cubes put in a certain position, and that's what, and then I'm like just doing this here. Right? And we have this over here. I can tell you that this is wrong here. I'm not happy with their expression, but that's fine. We can erase that over here. Now that this is this. I generally want her head to be bigger. This is not Roz-Kun, by the way. This is her sister, who's a pianist. That's Roblox face. want to use specific brush for the liner. Bigger. Yeah, no, you're good. Don't worry, Fub. So you can tell that the arm is just a series of tubes. It helps. Series of tubes, you say? Yeah. The internet is a series of tubes. Not just something you do. Exactly. You know, a little bit of this. By the way, yesterday I saw the new movie from the director of Old Boy, Parking. What was his name? Park Wong, I believe his name was. But it was really, really good. It's like one of the best movies I've seen in a while. And that's something that I would expect from the director of Old Boy. It was really fun. My brother and I saw it yesterday, and we were like, holy shit. We were tense the entire movie. For not because it was like a horror movie or something. It was just like an intense movie in general. Really enjoyed it. I don't want to say much about the movie, though. I would say go watch it. It's called No Other Option. Really, really good. Just like if it's playing on a theater near you. I know it's Korean. It might be hard for some people to get to see it, but honestly, if you can find it in your local theater, you know, go watch it. High recommendation. It's a little bigger. So I don't get confused. Here. Alright, we gotta speed run this. Sure that for this, I just want to use, where is that brush? Suit cream. The good thing is, for what I want to do, I'm not going to render too hard, I don't think. Hey, Dark. Just want to do something simple for rendering that I want to try out. Iron Lung. I want to see if Iron Lung will ever play here. We were lucky to even get that Korean film here, by the way, because it's not like there's only one showing. There's only one showing in 2 theaters, so it's one at like. What was the time? It was like 1 at 6 in the afternoon, which is when we went to see it. And then there's another one at like 8 p.m. in a different theater. It's like, bro, give us more. This movie is great. It's not like it's not a shitty Hollywood movie. It's really good. And it's like, nope, you only get one. So I don't know if like the Markiplier movie will come over here, unless like, because there's a monopoly with movie theaters here. We only have like the one, so it's not like there's any competition or like any demand for it. Yeah, it's like. The time that my brother and I went, he's like, he just finished work, and he was working from home yesterday. So he's like, dude, do you want to go watch this movie? We have to leave, like, right now. Because it took us, like, an hour to get to the movie theater. We bought the ticket the moment that my brother said it, like, oh, okay, let's go buy it. We bought it online, And it was like, okay, we have to leave. Like, I'm gonna go get changed. We leave in 20 minutes. And it took us an hour to get to the movie theater because of the rush hour. And the movie theater's like not too far from the theater that we went to for that movie specifically. No other option, or no option or whatever. It was virtually empty. And there was like one guy, I swear I thought was like recording, but turns out he just fell asleep. Because some of the staff from the movie theater showed up and they were like monitoring what's going on, and like nothing was like happening. I think they were just suspicious of the guy because he did look kind of like suspicious to the way that he came into the theater itself, but it turns out he was just some guy. And he fell asleep. But it made me sad because it, like, my brother, like, this movie, I think it came out last year, but it was the first week here, and there was no one. And we were just like, whoa, what the fuck? And we only heard about it because we saw it. The guy was sleepy. I mean, look, it's a Wednesday. Spending too much time on this. It was a Wednesday, and of course you're gonna be suspicious at like 6 in the afternoon with nothing. But the guy just came out from college. That's my assessment. He came out from college and he went straight to the movie because it's like at 6. But like, who? Okay, on a weekday for a movie that's like aimed at adults specifically, ain't no way school kids are gonna come out to watch that. Like most Korean, like I wouldn't say all the Korean movies are great, but I would say that the really, really good ones are extremely good. The theater was showing Vampire Hunter D and my friend fell asleep watching it. Do you want to hear my most embarrassing I fell asleep at this? How could you have fallen asleep at this moment? So in college, let me explain something about American football, by the way, first. Tickets are expensive. College football tickets they're expensive, right? They're like $100, something stupid like that. So whatever. All right. My uncle, my cousin went to a college that was near the college that I went to, or like he went to university, I went to college, and so he's like, we gotta go watch his game because he's in the band and he plays at these games, so we have to go watch him. We have to go watch the game. Now, keep in mind, this team is not good. It wasn't good, and then it became good. But the year that I went, they were shit. There's no two ways around it. They were shit. So whatever. We went. He bought tickets for the game. He spent $100 on me going because he wanted we all really just went to go watch my cousin play in band. Not really to watch the game, because the game was terrible. So anyways. Mid-game, I start, like, I fall asleep for like 10 minutes. I swear it was like 10 minutes, but in the middle of a football game. But it's like nothing was going on. And I was just like, I don't know, I fell asleep, like, I wasn't even like leaning back or anything. I fell asleep like sitting upright with nothing, like there's those seats, they're just like benches. There's nothing. I fell asleep like sitting up. And I've never done that before. And my other cousin, she was like nudging me. She's just like, hey, wake up. And I could just see my uncle leering from the seat below me. And then like he said nothing, and then he's like, how could you have fallen asleep in like this football game? It's because he takes football very seriously, and just like fell asleep. So I was like, I don't, what do you want me to say? Like, I fell asleep. I was tired. I don't know. And he's like, but your cousin was like, he wasn't playing in the band. I fell asleep in like the play. But the thing is, football starts and stops like every 2 seconds. So it wasn't like, if I fell asleep and my cousin played, I could have seen him a million times because he played several times. It wasn't like, oh, he played the one time. He was like the lead drummer. And I like passed out for 10 minutes. Because it was so boring. Like, the team was, like... My cousin's college was getting, like, university was getting mauled alive. Because they weren't even, like, NCAA division. They were just, I don't know, American college or something? I don't know. Whatever, like, the not good category is. And so, they were getting mauled, and it was just like, I mean, like, whatever. And that was, I want to say, 2026. That was like 13 years ago. And he still brings it up. He still brings it up. He's like, you can't take him to a football game or he's going to fall asleep. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, let it go. It was 13 years ago. I'm never going to go to, like, a football game. The only, like, and it's not even like, I didn't go to another football game and not fall asleep. Because I went to an interesting one that was like a finals. And that was like, I was up the entire time watching that. And it was fun. It was just like, okay, I don't really like the sport very much. But it was interesting to watch. So it's like, under the right condition. Also, keep in mind, I was hungover. No, we've had this argument before that I find football boring. I've gone to like, you know, to me, the most interesting sport to watch is both hockey and basketball. One, because basketball never stops, and hockey because you get two sports in one. You get boxing, and you get people like Canadians roughly hitting around like a puck in an ice rink. I like football or soccer or whatever a lot, but the thing is, like, it kind of gets boring if the teams aren't like being engaging enough, because at least with basketball, the ball has to like change hands every so often. Like, you can't just hog the ball for 20 seconds or run the timer. Oh, baseball is fun, but not because the sport itself is fun. It's everything around it that's fun. Also, I need to speed this up. I'm spending too much time. Let's hurry it up. Okay, we got the idea. Here. Here. Where's that? I only got 20 minutes left, and 28 minutes left, and I've been wasting it on being too precise. Just thing about football is that matches can be very hit or miss. Yeah. The thing is, it also depends on the teams. I think mid-season games can be interesting too, but a lot of games are very low stakes to the point where like you watch them and it's like one team mauling the other one and then they hog the ball for the rest of the match, just because they they're gonna run out the timer, and that's like the stuff that I don't find particularly interesting. But otherwise, like it's a fun sport to watch. It can get interesting. When it's good, it's really good. I hate soccer, and more because my country was so ass I couldn't enter the cup. Canadians are like, I thought the hockey joke was like, oh, you know, like Canadians like hockey, whatever. But they live and breathe that shit. It's funny as hell. Because I went to a summer camp when I was younger in Canada, and it's like everything was hockey, and it drove me crazy. It's like there's nothing else to do in Canada other than like, you know, be violent on ice towards each other. But hockey games are fun to watch. Oddly enough, like funny thing about hockey is that in terms of sports, I like the Miami Heat as the basketball team, right? And in the US, Miami, like every team in Miami sucks, except the one fucking sport that they shouldn't be good at, and it's fucking hockey. It's like the best team in Miami right now, and they're like making strides, and it's like, why this specifically? Names make for fun, hockey or VTubing, yeah, or both. Is there any hockey VTuber? Seems kind of like a missed opportunity. The Canadian people are nice. They need a way to yeah, they release tension. You can like both, you dork. Yeah, you can. Donkey Kong. Apparently, it's a hockey-themed VTuber. Praise be Google. Nice. Cornering the market. Okay, I spent too much time on this. I only got a little bit left. Let's make the canvas small. She has a nose, but I'm not, you know, choosing not to draw it. Stylistically, I prefer to just kind of imply that there is a nose rather than draw it out. And I can tell there's a ton of errors, but I'm not concerned with those right now. Okay. Let's see. Color picking. Wait, let's speed up this process. Liquify, I keep it at like 70%, but I adjust it as I need it. I have the pen pressure tied to it, so I try not to abuse the liquifying too. I try to like keep it at a minimum use. In this case, try here, right. Google story now makes me imagine. Kinda, yeah. That would be funny to draw. Thank you, Aura. Sorry, I haven't been reading the messages, so I'm trying to just be fast as fuck, boy. All right, 10 minutes, more or less. Let's go ahead and just power through this. I'm going to simplify everything else. See if I can add the effect that I want to add in a shorter amount of time. Okay. Ooh, rare RPG. You know, a good reason to do these too is okay. What shines from my style? What do I automatically default to? What can I change about it? And I started noticing these things. But it is obviously an arduous process to start like figuring that part of yourself. Well, no matter. Happy mistake, happy mistake. What I wanted to do was... brother practicing his scales on his piano. See, one thing here. This one, just gonna. Seven minutes left. We're gonna give her our dress. I have to just be very, very quick with how I render this. Time, basically, to add too many details. So what I'll do is just gonna very neatly basically, what can I get away with the least amount of effort? Good enough. Now let's do the hands. We're just gonna go for something like around here. Simple. Here. There's one detail I want to add, so I'm rushing entirely through this. See if I can have at least 1 minute to add it. Go. Okay, I'm gonna add the detail that I want to add now, and then whatever else I can't add, I'll just add. Here, we're gonna. I'm gonna be very visible, so we're gonna. There we go. All right, the piano. Shit. All right, piano's gonna be very easy. We're gonna do something kind of creamy, like that. There we go. Piano's just gonna be dark here, here, and then we're just gonna add a couple of, thingies here. We're gonna add the red from this here. Maybe that's a little too much. Make it darker. Just left. We can color these lines really quickly. Better. Seconds. And that's time. That's time. Let's take a look. So let's do something that I don't usually do, and let's analyze this. So give me 1 second. See if I find what I wanted to do. All right. So let's see. What I wanted to do, which ideally, like, I should have chosen something different to do that. I wanted to do something like this. And typically, images like these have very strong lighting and then like a big cast shadow. And that was just, I was just never gonna be able to show this with the admittedly soft lighting that I was using here. And also I chose like a very like high angle where I wasn't going to draw the cast shadow, so that wasn't going to show up. So you know, that didn't quite come across. But that's something that I should probably try doing with an image reference that I can kind of like, you know, learn from. But I was trying to do it from my brain. So let's see what else we can make note of here. Obviously, perspective somewhat wonky. If you were to, let's see, grab someone that's actually sitting down, and you were to, let's say, put it in the perspective that I wanted to put. We're talking about adding fisheye to something like this, where everything else isn't really in fisheye, and that's something that you know, needs work. Obviously, this model is kind of leaning back, so that's not entirely 101. But let's say we angle it a little bit more towards. So let's say we're like, she's like this. And then she's like that. All right. So basically, it is somewhat okay, but it's not entirely. Angle's a little off. I mean, this area for sure needs a bit of work here because this isn't entirely correct. Should more or less be like, think of like this clavicle area as a diamond, and it should be more like that. But you know, for being able to do this quick, you know, it's a learning curve. So we got that here. I mean, this is kind of okay, right? At this point, the boob would fan out from here instead of like this high up. So basically, what I would have had to do for it to be kind of okay would have been this instead. This is more accurate, right? Let's see what else. This area here. Needs to be more like this. So it should have been more in this way. And even though I gave her like a belly here, you know, it's not coming out properly, so it should have been like more like this. Should have, you know, accentuated her curves a little better over here. I mean, that's why I do these as well. Like, I can sit down and look at my drawings, like, what's not working, what's working. Her head, at the angle that it's at, should be more like this instead. Because keep in mind, you know, it's a plane. So, she does have her head lifted a little bit, but it's also like kind of at an angle, so just, you know, keep it in mind. I need to practice heads a lot more. Let's see here. This would have been better if I had added like a bounce light somewhere, which I didn't have time for, and that's my fault, really, because I was wasting too much time. Like, some bounce light would have helped accentuate. I mean, that's too strong. But some bounce light would have helped accentuate the form a little better. And then adding a few strands here of light would have also given it a little bit of expression. This part's weird. It's too much. It should have been more. Should have been less like that and more instead. It's a little. I mean, those are the few things that I noticed. Obviously, you know, perspective or whatever. This should have extended this way, because then it would have filled in that negative space there, and it would make more sense. I neglected adding stuff here, and had I made it bright like this, for example, no, that wouldn't have worked. But at the very least, I would have had that space filled, and it would help with giving form. Let's see what else. You know, I was missing the eye shine that I usually like giving, you know. It also seems like she's looking in our direction, but she's not looking at us. So maybe if the eye was a little lower, like the iris was a little lower, it could give that impression. Yeah, that feels more in tune than what we had before, where she was, you know. Okay. I would have loved to have time to add, you know, these things here. Let's see what else. Overall, for 1 hour, not too shabby. There's, you know, room for improvement, of course. But, Yep. Okay. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let me stretch my arms for a second and like my legs, and I'll be back. And then I will see if I have time to do another one of these. All right. I got some coffee. I believe I have time for one more. So, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a leeway. Whoa, voice crack. And I am going to use a reference this time. And we're going to make a simpler drawing. Just so that I can try and get this image right. I'm not gonna make it one-to-one, obviously. It's just the feeling of it. Here, let's erase this. Keep the corrections here. Let's delete that. Okay. Now that the canvas is resized, this will be better. Alright. Let me just finish my break, drink my coffee mug so that I'm not like losing my mind. I think my idea is going to be same character. So this character is Cocoa. It's Roz-Chan's sister. And we're going to... You're the kind of guy can live with it. I have like 3 cups of coffee black or straight or whatever every day. which in hindsight, not a good thing. You know, I'm gonna develop an ulcer if I keep doing that. But I've been trying to cut down on the amount of coffee that I drink every day. Maybe 2. It's a start. I just need to buy like really good green tea, and I think I'll be set. Once I have that, then I can substitute coffee in the afternoon for green tea. Alright. Let's see. Alright. We're gonna do this again. I feel you probably get a heart attack by 40 with the amount of coffee. Yeah, I need to relax. That reminds me of like there's like a Red Letter Media video where like they're watching like these old people, and there's this one guy that he's like, I stopped drinking coffee, and it's just like he's just like hyper, and it's like, oh my god. And the guy's like he's either on coke or like it's just a shit ton of coffee. But it's like, it was very funny. But I need to relax and make sure that I'm drinking less and less coffee. Just maybe like the cup that I drink, have it as espressos instead, and then just sprinkle it throughout the day, or buy decaf or something. Coffee does a lot for me. It's not even like the caffeine itself, because I've drunk coffee and fallen asleep immediately. It's just the habit of drinking it in the morning. It's like a routine, like a ritual. Like, I gotta sit down in the morning, like even if I don't have breakfast, I'll have coffee. Alright, we're gonna start in 1, 2, 3. Alright. In the morning, a need or hot chocolate, coffee, homemade, alright. Decaf sounds good. Coffee is my beverage of choice at this point. Caffeine does jack shit to me. Yeah, I remember I used to be addicted to Red Bull in college. Not even because like I didn't have energy. It was mostly because I just liked the flavor, and I was addicted to the effect of like feeling like bustling with energy. And it was like an alternative, like, well, I can't drink alcohol yet because I'm not 21, so I'll drink that instead. Wife hadn't cafe. I honestly, like, if you're not really a coffee drinker, just drink tea. Tea has caffeine in it already, like if you need energy in the morning. Are rules really that strict in alcohol? It's like 21, right? Though where I'm from, I've been drinking since I was like 16, so. Well, okay, that makes me sound like an alcoholic. I had alcohol since I was 16. And it's because like drinking age here is 18, but it's people are very lax. If you're just drinking beer, not hard alcohol. It's like, it's whatever. But for me specifically though, like I'm not that much of a drinker. I'll have like whiskey or whatever, but in general, just because of wanting to work out and like get in shape and stuff, I don't drink very much. Like rarely I do. Like out of my own volition. Someone has to be like, hey, do you want to drink beer? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll drink one. But if it's like myself, like I'm not the type to like sit down and like drink bourbon or something. Whatever it is that smart people do with books and shit. For this one, I'm not going to do line art. I'm just going to clean up the sketch. I liked whiskey very much. But it's more of like a testing thing. That reminds me of we went to a place for a couple friends. This is years ago, but a couple friends of mine, my brothers, we went to a place that serves drinks and stuff. Not bar. It's just like a place that you could go to with a pool and like you could order drinks and stuff. And we saw that they had mixed drinks and stuff. And then there was one that said like old fashioned, which, you know, it was just like whiskey or whatever, but it didn't say what an old fashioned was. Just said old fashioned and then other drinks that it did detail. So my friend was like, oh, I wonder what this is. And then we like signaled the waiter, and I mean it was funny to us, but he just comes over and we asked him like, hey, what's an old fashioned? And he looks first of all, he looks at us like we're stupid, and we're just like, yeah, what is it? And he's like, oh, it's a classic drink. And we're just like, oh, no shit. Old fashioned? Right. Classic drink. All right. And then he just sits quiet and he's like, oh shit. He did not really elaborate what the drink was. He just said it's a classic drink. That's it. And we're just like, okay, would you care to elaborate what this is? And then he's like, oh right, it's like whiskey with like, I forgot whatever else it has in it. Whiskey, like a fruit or something. It's like I like an old fashioned, but it's not my drink of choice generally. It's just the way that he said it. It's like the whole setup for the whole thing. Like it got off to like, sorry, I'm gonna just to save myself like that. Okay. Alright. -1 for doing that. It's like dumbass, I'm asking you. An yeah, basically he responded with the same with the question. And we're just like, why would you answer it this way? Think it simple syrup and bitters. Yeah, something like that. But that's all he had to really say. It's like he didn't really have to like sugar like he was trying to be like, oh yeah, it's this. And it's like, bro, just like what is it? What's in it? It's like he was trying to pitch us a drink and we're like, we have no idea what this is, so we're not going to order it if you don't explain it. Hey, what's in this drink? Alcohol. Yeah, it was pretty much... That's the exchange. It made me laugh. Like, we still quote it, like, every time we meet up. We're like, what's, oh, it's a classic drink. One drink I'd never have again is Séptimo Rendimiento. And whiskey, ron, yeah. One thing I would never drink again is absinthe. I would never drink that shit again. Jaeger bombs either. I would never have a Jaeger bomb again. The things that I did when I was in college, I would never ever do again in terms of drinking. The way that, you know, that kind of thing when about like the college culture around drinking is insane. Though there is a tendency for people to drink, younger people to drink less nowadays. So that's good. There's less of a social pressure to drink than there used to be in my time. god. The school I went to, one of my friends, well, my roommate actually, he was in business school, so he went to the business department one morning, for like an early class, like 7 in the morning, and he says, like, he told me that he went to the bathroom and there was just people doing like lines of coke. Just like that early in the morning, huh? And they're like, oh shit, sorry. And he's just like, nah, it's alright, do your thing, man. Man has a giga chat, Jim. You know, I've never played Chrono Trigger to its completion. I've only gone into, like, the first castle. But I've seen Vinny play it a lot. And even German. Topic about I've learned not to tip the bartender because he will give you and your friends double round of tequila. Oh my god. I think bartenders are the ones that generally really earn their tips. Because if you think about it, like, okay, I'm not condoning not giving tips, but I do like the idea of not being forced to tip. But generally speaking, when you go to a restaurant, you don't tip the chef, even though he's the one that's putting the effort in making the meal. Like, I'm sure chefs get paid better sometimes than the waiters, because they're usually like in the front, and it's like tip base. But so I remember working at a restaurant, and the way that we did it was that tip was shared. So everyone was incentive. Everyone was incentive. Give me 1 second. Let me pause this. Everyone was incentivized to. Everyone was incentivized to work hard, so that everybody got good tips. No, I've been debating streaming Chrono Trigger too, so don't worry. My favorite thing to do if like I'm going out to drink, and it's possible, I like bar hopping a lot. Bar hopping is really fun. Yeah, if it's possible, whenever you go out, give a tip. You're not forced to tip, right? You shouldn't be, but if you're able to, you know, tip your fellow human. And at least in the U.S. In Europe, you're not really. People earn like a decent wage when they work at service jobs, so you're not really forced to tip. I just hate places that when you go, they're like it's something you're gonna like. Let's say like anything that's like already prepared, or something that doesn't really have like, it's not that complex to prepare. It's just grab a thing, put it in the microwave, or even places that don't have humans serve you, they're starting to like ask you for a tip, and it's like 20% tip, and it's like, no, get off. And I know that a lot of restaurants, like, they'll like, whenever you tip via the machine, when you pay with your phone or a credit card or something like that, a lot of companies just take that tip. They don't give it to the server, I don't think. I mean, I like, again, I've worked at restaurants. I've managed like a restaurant in summer, and the people that work there is like, yeah, no, they scrape the top. Yeah, when you're forced to tip, or like they have the machine, and it's like, oh, you better tip. And like, one of the things that frustrates me here when I go out to eat is that the tip is already included in the, like, when they give you the receipt, it's already included in the, like, legally they have to include it. But most restaurants, or most restaurant owners, they don't distribute that with their servers. They just keep that 10% on top of like what you already paying. And so a lot of servers are like, oh, you know, that extra 10% tax that is for tips, you have to tip on additionally to that. It's like, no, I'm not, like, why am I tipping twice? But then it's the expectation. So like anything that would have been like $20, then with the 10%, it's like what is it, like $2 plus tax, like just regular tax, regular sales tax, and then they're like, okay, well, here's another thing we want you to tip on top of that. So whatever would have been like $20 ends up being like 30. You know, the argument is like, oh, if you don't have money, don't go out and eat. Like, bro, I should have the liberty of like going out to eat. And if I'm not able to tip, well, you know, everybody's struggling too. I try to tip when I can, like if the server does a good job, but if they don't, and the food is awful, or like if the service wasn't good, and even if the food was good, it's not gonna go to the chef, I know that, so I don't tip. Like, it just sucks that that's like the mindset, at least in the US. I do like the European method where they actually pay their workers. Speaking of her, eat a little bit. Start coloring. I'll see how that pans out. Alright, Norian, thanks for stopping by. My friends and I always ask the servers if the tip goes to them, otherwise we give them cash. Yeah. The thing with running a restaurant too is that you want to, I mean, if you're like a good person, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is either giving them like a good salary, but like it's not feasible. Like restaurant businesses are very costly, and they're also like a nightmare to run. So if you're in an area where like it's difficult to pay people properly or give them like as much as you want, distributing the tips is usually a good way to have everyone in your restaurant try their best to, because it's like, you know, everyone makes sure that the restaurant is working properly, like they're giving, everyone's giving good service regardless of like, because at the end of the day, if like everybody's doing their best, like everybody gets like shared revenue, but or like, you know, kind of like shared commission, which also sucks. Like if you're really, really good, and you're getting all the tips, like it can sometimes suck for the people, like, you know, if you're that one person, because then like the one that's like the least good gets, you know, equal pay. But the thing is, like, I don't really know what the best way to do it. And honestly, like, I would prefer if everybody could get like a good salary and then the tip is just like the cherry on top, rather than like it's part, like it's the expected part of your salary. Like imagine if in my commissions I started charging people the tip already included, and then I'm just like, yeah, you know, it's just part of it. Attempt. Thing. It's like really bright. Light's coming from here, then it should be this. You should even have it in. Let's see. Lighting. Now for you, like for me, like when you pay me, I don't know, you tip me whatever you want. I honestly don't like have a percentage in mind. It's more or less like whatever you deem is okay. I'm not the gold standard. Some people have like numbers. It's like, oh, it's like 10% or whatever. It's like, hey, just tip me whatever you think is right. If I did a good job, or if you think I'm gonna do a good job, or whatever. And honestly, I usually like sending people the invoice like after I delivered, which is usually not the best thing to do, because then some people take advantage of that, and then they're just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna pay you. Thankfully, you know, knock on wood, never had that happen yet. Or like, I've had that happen, but I've harassed the person enough to get my payment. For the people that serve at the restaurant, personally, I wouldn't say like 10%. I think it depends. If it's like a place where like you eat really quickly and they don't really like hover around to serve you or whatever, right? If it's just like, here, eat, then to me, like a good indicator is like me, like a good indicator, it depends on the like what we're looking at here. But usually if I go to a restaurant and they're serving me and they're giving me good service, I will usually say like 20% is a good ratio. Otherwise, like 10, 15%, I guess it just really depends if I really, really like the place. Because then for other reasons, like I don't know. Not really good at figuring that shit out. And I don't use the like before tax. I just use whatever's like after. Also, hold on. I'm gonna take the cat out. She's being annoying. Hang on. She doesn't like leaving my room, but if I close the door of my room, she gets upset. And then she starts, like, she's in my closet. She could never figure out that the door is, open or closed to my room. But somehow she finds out, and then she's like, no, I don't like this. And then starts, like, hopping around and, like, getting on my leg. And it's just like, okay. So that's the moment that I kick her out. have strong associations of like hearing this music and watching a JonTron video. Dun, 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 dun. At the very least, the hair is easy to get done. Let's see why in a second. Another game that I want to play is Final Fantasy VI. So I might do Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger stream. Not simultaneously, but I do want to do some RPGs. Maybe when I'm in Japan, I can stream... One second. No. See. All right, I forgot that I wanted to add. See. Okay. The hair, we're gonna grab this. The light is shining this head on. Hear the cat crying outside. This is usually why I don't stream it in the mornings or early on. It's just too many things interrupting my day. Try texturing a little bit with that. I think for the hair that's good enough. Right, we got 12 minutes left, so I'll dedicate 2 minutes to each article of clothing. We're gonna start with this one here. Because in order for the entire thing to work, I need a little bit of whatever's going to go in the background. So I need to make sure that that is done. Do gray for these articles of clothing. And we're going to do kind of like a grayish, light blue. Yeah, because it keeps the thing together. And then I'm gonna add like a, let's see. Yeah, I'll adjust the color. That's not a big deal. So for now, we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and, This one, I'm just gonna use... Add. Now, the last few pieces of the puzzle. Here. Right. Do this right here. See? Filter, blur. Oh, I'm using the wrong thing. Somehow. I want to add a little bit of color to this. So if I color pick this, I can maybe make it darker. And around the areas, we can add a little bit of finally, I want to add some extra effects here. We're going to go multiply. We're going to go over here. Sure, I subtly... Okay. And then let's clean up the eye a little bit. Did a mistake here. And that's time. Let me just fix this one. Right. Alright, that's time. Oh. Alright, let's see what we got here. Overall, not too bad. That's pretty good, I think. I mean, there's obviously... I'm not trying to focus on, like, oh, there's anatomy mistakes or whatever. There's obviously anatomy mistakes. But I did get the feeling that I wanted from this picture in a rather short amount of time. Right? It's somewhat close. Needs work, of course. But I think it's pretty decent. I do need to work on my sketches being a little cleaner with these time things, because I do want to skip kind of like the overall thing of like making a sketch, cleaning it up, and like just jumping straight into it. And in this one, for example, I did understand that I can just paint over things, but I also want to get that loosey-goosey spirit of like, here's some, like the sketch is messy, but the important parts play out. So that takes a little bit of finessing. But either way, I like this one a lot. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna actually put this all together, but I'm gonna combine this, and then we're gonna merge selected layer. I'm gonna just add a few corrections here and there, just to It's not too many. Anywhere where I deem it that it needs it. Here. Here. We're gonna add a little bit of I want it to be too strong. Here. And then what I want to do is oh my god, I have this still there. We're gonna go edit. No. What was it? Oh, filter. We're gonna do. What's the effect? Add a little bit of noise. Just gonna go ahead and around here, tonal correction, tone curve. Darker, accentuate the reds a little bit. Greens. There, and an overlay. 2. And last but not least, let's add a signature. I didn't save this whole time. Nice. Yellow. Sadly, you came at the tail end of the stream, because I'm about to go to lunch, and then do some game development stuff. The other one was this one. I'm only gonna post the second one, but well, I'll post both. I don't see why not. But you know, big difference. You know, I think here I was obsessed with the line art, and that usually is kind of a killer. Because, you know, I do better when I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Alright. No worries, it's fine. I'll try to stream more art, or stream again later this week, on the weekend. Today I have game development stuff to do. But yeah, you know, thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope this was a learning experience, or you got something out of it, or you enjoyed it to chill. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next challenge on Picardo, maybe. I'll see you guys next time.